Good evening, it's exactly 6 p.m. Cairo local time. It's time for this English news bulletin coming to you out of Channel 2. This is Reem Tamer and we'll start right away with the headlines. President Sisi meets with Prime Minister Madbouli, CBE governor, to discuss strengthening financial indicators. Prime Minister Madbouli inspects Sphinx Airport and surrounding area of Grand Egyptian Museum. Twelve Palestinians killed, others wounded in sporadic areas in Gaza Strip. Welcome back. The news in full. President Fattah al-Sisi met on Saturday with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, Governor of the Central Bank of Egypt Hassan Abdullah, and Presidential Advisor for Financial Affairs General Ahmed al-Shazli. Presidential spokesperson Mohammed al-Shinawi stated that the meeting discussed the latest developments in strengthening the performance of banking sector, as well as the efforts exerted to increase the availability of foreign currency. The President was also briefed on the indicators related to reinforcing the state's foreign currency reserves. The spokesperson said that President al-Sisi emphasized the importance of focusing on meeting the necessary financing needs to support development efforts. He also stressed the continuation of ensuring sufficient availability of foreign currency resources in a way that positively contributes to securing an adequate stock of various commodities and to reducing external debt. Furthermore, the President reaffirmed the necessity of continuing to operate under flexible exchange rate regime. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli asserted the state's keenness to follow up on the ongoing work in the surrounding area of the Grand Egyptian Museum and push forward the rate of work there ahead of the official opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum on the 1st of November. This came during his inspection tour in the surrounding area of the museum as part of following up of work in different projects to develop the area. The Prime Minister started the tour with Sphinx Airport, which is considered a strategic gate that links west of Cairo with historic and touristic sites. During his inspection tour, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli affirmed that the government elevated the efficiency and developed all the roads leading to the Grand Egyptian Museum and Pyramids area. He said that a huge roads network was designed and built to facilitate reaching the area to achieve the integration between the gem and all the surrounding locations through a network of roads and access leading to it and contribute to reaching a complete civilized image that fits the huge historical value of this area and also to offer services to visitors and tourists. Prime Minister Madbouli also inspected the tourist walkway during his tour in the Pyramids and Grand Egyptian Museum area. The tourist walkway stretches from the special waiting area at the museum, passing by Fayoum Road, ending up inside the historic site. The walkway was designed and carried out with a global quality that fits the value of area, which provides a direct and comfortable path between the museum and the Pyramids area, either by walking or by using green electric vehicles. Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Migration and Egyptian expatriates Badr Abdelati discussed with counterparts from Saudi Arabia, Pakistan and Turkey the accelerated developments in the region in the framework of joint coordination with the countries in the region ahead of an emergency Arab-Islamic summit in Doha on Sunday. This came in intensive phone calls carried out by Foreign Minister Abdelati with his Saudi counterpart Faisal bin Farhan, Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan and Pakistani Foreign Minister Mohammad Ishaq. The Foreign Minister stressed the importance of the solidarity among Arab and Islamic countries in this critical timing that the region is going through and the necessity of continuing coordination of stances which achieve Arab and Islamic interests and achieve stability in the region. Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati received on Saturday Egypt's candidate for the post of UNESCO General Director Khalid Al-Anani with the attendance of electoral campaign team as part of the regular follow-up of the Foreign Minister of Egypt's candidacy file. During the meeting, Anani explained that he successfully wrapped up his visits to all member states of the Executive Council of the UNESCO in the framework of intensive tours that were organized over the last 2 years, which aim at boosting direct communication with these countries, which increased support to the Egyptian candidate. The meeting also tackled the campaign's visit to Paris, preparing for the voting at the Executive Council of UNESCO that is set to be in October 2025. Egypt welcomed the United Nations General Assembly endorsement of New York Declaration on the two-state solution, a resolution which seeks to activate the two-state solution between Israelis and Palestinians without the involvement of Hamas. Meanwhile, Arab League Secretary General Ahmed Abul Ghait also welcomed the UNGA endorsement. The declaration presented by France and Saudi Arabia called on Hamas to free all hostages and on the Israeli occupation to end the genocide war in Gaza. The declaration also called on Hamas to hand over its weapons to the Palestinian Authority with international engagement and support in line with the objective of a sovereign and independent Palestinian state. A resolution endorsing the declaration received 142 votes in favor, 10 against, while 12 countries abstained. The vote precedes an upcoming UN on September 22nd in New York, in which French President Emmanuel Macron has promised to formally recognize the Palestinian state. 12 Palestinians were killed and others were wounded by Israeli occupation fires and airstrikes in sporadic areas in Gaza Strip. Israeli occupation troops also opened fire directly against scores of humanitarian aid seekers. The Israeli military also said on Saturday that more than 250,000 people have left Gaza City for other parts of the territory over the past few weeks since it intensified its assault. Israel strikes on Hamas leaders in Qatar and expansion of settlements in the occupied West Bank. State Department Deputy Spokesperson Tommy Pigott said that Rabia would depart on Saturday to visit Israel before joining up with Trump's planned visit to Britain next week. Rabia met with Qatar's Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abdulrahman al-Thani at the White House on Friday, underscoring the competing interests in the region that Rabia will seek to balance on his trip. Rabia's visit comes ahead of high-level meetings at the United Nations in New York later this month, where countries including France and Britain are expected to recognize Palestinian statehood, a move opposed by Israel. Palestinian factions in 2 refugee camps in Lebanon handed over truckloads of weapons to authorities on Saturday as part of a deal reached earlier this year to remove arms not under Lebanese state control. The latest transfer of weapons, which has been slow since it began last month, took place in the Ain al-Helwa refugee camp, the largest in Lebanon near the southern port city of Sidon, and the Bedawi refugee camp near the northern city of Tripoli. State-run National News Agency and the Palestinian spokesman said 3 trucks full of weapons from the Bedawi camp were headed to a Lebanese army barracks inside Tripoli. The spokesman for the Palestinian National Security Forces in Lebanon, Abdul Hadi al-Asadi, said in a statement that 5 truckloads of weapons also were handed over at Ain al-Helwa. As part of its commitment to ending the war and ensuring Sudan's unity and territorial integrity, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE and the US issued a joint statement on restoring peace and security in Sudan. The statement follows weeks of intensive consultations among the 4 countries within the framework the International Quartet's efforts to end the ongoing war in Sudan and to alleviate the suffering of the Sudanese people. Egypt's participation in the initiative stems from its firm position in support of the unity and sovereignty of Sudan, its commitment to safeguarding Sudan's national institutions, and its determination to accelerate the restoration of the hoped-for security and stability. The statement emphasized the need to preserve Sudan's sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity as essential elements for peace and stability in the country. It also called for intensifying humanitarian aid to all Sudanese people. Russia on Saturday said it had captured a new village in Ukraine's central Dnipro-Petrovsk region, which Moscow's forces say they reached at the beginning of July. The defense ministry said its troops had seized the village of Novomykolaivka near the border with Donetsk region, the epicenter of the fighting on the front. In another development, Russian troops struck Ukrainian long-range drone infrastructure and shot down 340 Ukrainian drones over the past day. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin wanted to occupy all of Ukraine and would not stop until his goal was achieved, even if Kiev agreed to cede territory. For its part, the Kremlin noted on Friday that peace negotiations with Kiev were on pause following the failure of several attempts in recent months to diplomatically resolve the conflict triggered by Russia's full-scale offensive in February 2022. In the world of business and finance, Chairman of the Suez Canal Authority, Admiral Osama Rabia, held an extensive meeting with Chairman of the Canadian IMGS Group, specializing in logistics and port services, Omran Ali Khan, and a high-level delegation from FAMSIN, the leading Chinese company in agriculture engineering, to discuss prospects of a tripartite partnership in the field of food security within the Suez Canal development projects. During the meeting, Rabia affirmed the authority's keenness to make optimal use of its resources and capabilities and to capitalize on its unique geographical location to value-added logistical projects that serve Egypt's national interest and enhance the developmental role of the canal. He explained that the ongoing negotiations bring together the three parties with the aim of establishing a global food logistics hub in Port Fouad. Dear viewers, by that we reached the end of this English news bulletin. Came to you out of Channel 2. That was Reem Tamer. Many thanks for watching.